My audio, and we transition. Hooray! It should be. Get out of studio mode. Should be here. I believe all of us are here. Hello, everyone. My name is
Hi.
Steve. Prepare. I'm your gay mommy, and I'm joined
Like just
by.
told us you would never pay attention to chat.
Yeah, well, I'm doing
betrayal.
it immediate. I
Immediate
promise.
betrayal.
Once we get the game going, I don't pay attention to chat. But I'm joined by my Strio Trio. Say hello, Strio Trio.
Hello,
Strio Trio. No triple Aaron today. Scratch's player had a very busy weekend, and so is very exhausted, or aggressively takes Martin Luther King Jr. Day extremely seriously. I don't know which one it is, but they are not here. People indeed. But we are here. We are back. This is Dying of Exsanguination's Curse of Strahd campaign. This is the first full proper episode, and I'm going to kick us off with a little bit of a recap, and I'm going to randomly pick one of these songs who I don't remember what they sound like to be the background audio of it. So, you know, this will be cool. And there we go. Sounds gothic-y enough. So, last time on Curse of Strahd, we set up some lore of the world, and we have some very specific things. You can go watch that on the VOD either here on Twitch or over on the YouTube channel, Dying of Exposure, to get all the details, but we'll let them come out as they naturally would a story. But we also met our 4 protagonists. Belladonna inside of their home, restless and trying to sleep. Mwezi-Mwezi in line for the goodest boy competition that he personally received an invitation to. Esther on their way to morning services and then jumped in a hallway, and Scratch being thrown out of business and into a whole nother world. All of them found themselves meandering, minus Belladonna, to the strange snowy mountainside of the east of a land that they do not know. Belladonna's just in their home, beside their orchard, beside their meadery, just east of a town of the town of Barovia, in the region of Barovia. Would I, if I had written this module, name the first town after the whole valley region? I don't know, but it is very accurate to locations of the time, so I will give them credit. We left off with a little bit of something we have to retcon, with Scratch's player not being here. Esther, I believe you were on kind of like the low end of the exterior of a cave as it opens up to sort of trees and a snowy valley, water, and kind of foggy features. Hard to see here in the first moon of the cycle, in the kind of full moonlight with all the fog and haze, but you can see enough detail. You see orchards, you see one kind of low, dim, unnatural oil lamp light in a small window there, and you see a couple maybe shadowy figures, maybe it's just shadows of the moon. Belladonna, I believe you were inside cooking up some food, and saw them in the distance. And then Mwezi-Mwezi, you're looking down at an unconscious, 3.5 foot tall, palace cat were-person. We know it to be a Tabaxi. You might presume it's a were-person or a Tabaxi. I don't know if Mwezi-Mwezi is familiar with the sort. Probably not. Most Tabaxi are wild cats and 5 foot to 6.5 feet tall. Scratch is kind of a unique thing, and they looked upon you, raised their hair a little bit and their shoulders, and then passed out from stress or booze. Unclear. So they have passed out in front of you in the snow, Mwezi-Mwezi.
Oh gods, I didn't mean to scare you. So I'm just going to immediately pick her up and kind of continue to walk around.
Mwezi, you immediately smell. I'm taking a little bit of liberties with AAA Ron's character, but I know Scratch well. You immediately smell a few things. A little bit of smoke from some sort of tobacco, a bit of like oil smell, like petroleum smell. I don't know if you would naturally know that it is like a lubricant oil or a machinist's lubricant.
Nope.
But like an odd petroleum type smell. And then, of course, the smell of various spirits. They are breathing normally, but fully unconscious and resistant to wakefulness, as all cats are. As you wander around this snow kind of covered area, you don't have to roll perception. You see kind of off to your right, there is several trees that are relatively well organized. It feels like they're deliberately planted in rows here. And then also a building, a small-ish building, with like a little bit of a warm glow light in the window. Do you have an instinct to head in the direction of what you assume is people, or do you have the instinct to remain what's Mwezi-Mwezi's survival instinct?
Oh, like, especially because I have, like, someone, I'm gonna head there. And so basically it's like, what luck. First I came down, and I got to see snow for the first time, and walk in snow for the first time. And now there's a house. Everything is going good. So yeah, I'm going to start moving to the house.
As the kind of gentle snow kind of falls, and you're smelling past Scratch's body and potpourri of scents.
She has good smell.
Yeah, you do smell something else, if I recall. Belladonna, I believe you had opened doors specifically to waft out something to the air. As you see this creature kind of turn and approach, they're still 50, 75 feet away. Like, they're pretty far off from you. They're not like right up on you, but you see that they picked up the other figure and they're walking, I assume, at a normal casual pace. Mwezi, not like like full tilt. Do you do anything? Do you call out? What do you do?
No, yeah, Belladonna had opened up a window, whatever kind of window is near the cooking area, like you would have for ventilation.
Yeah.
And there is, I believe, they found the witchcraft elbow pasta pieces and dairy curds.
Elbow and dairy curds, witchcraft. Yep, correct.
Yeah, and she dug through and found some good hearty foods, and it's the middle of winter, so yeah, she sweet potatoes, garlic, some onions, aromatics, things that might beef it up a little bit, but no beef, no meat, and yeah, just letting that waft out and just kind of keeping an eye on, not necessarily yoo-hooing, no luring, just seeing what the reaction is and what happens if there is the presence of hot food. Because I perceived a were creature, but I couldn't tell that it didn't look like it was hunting. It didn't look like with any intent to hurt or harm. So I am observing from afar.
As you do this, and Mwezi sort of draws nearer to your domicile, Esther, it doesn't take long. You're not far off of this. You can kind of clearly see sort of like at first the top side, and then as you kind of walk down a trail, the sort of angle, you have an angle on this home And as you kind of come around the sort of mountainside, is when you discover the shape and form of a large anthropomorphic shadowy creature, because you can't really pick up there's not enough light to really do it, so you kind of get a shape of like a hound standing on its two legs in a humanistic form, carrying what you imagine is the body of either a halfling or a child, based off of its side. What is Esther's instincts being about another in kind of a different direction, roughly another 50 to 100 feet away from there, that like roughly 75 feet as you're kind of coming down this like simple mountainy cave trail?
I think I would look to see if there's like an entrance into the house that doesn't involve me crossing paths with this like beast who's absolutely murdered somebody.
Yeah, give me a
I could if I want to.
give me a perception check on the old house.
Perfect. Let me roll my... Oh, okay. Well, whatever that adds to, it's a base 2. So I don't think it gets...
You don't think so? So you're confident. What kind of ecumenical weapon does Esther carry with them?
I think I have like a real answer to that. That she has like a small staff, but I think also objectively probably like just like the tiniest little like item, like like you know like one of those like purse like sticks that are like, oh, put them in your purse, you know.
So like a small, almost like something between a telescoping baton and a blackjack, like something like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't really have any. You don't see any way in. Like, yeah, there's other windows you could maybe try and pry those open. There's other potential things that you could, in theory, do, but it really does look like there's a back entrance at an angle you're not seeing, but there's a front door and there's a window that you can't really see that's open, but you do begin to smell cheese and garlic and onion and sweet potato in the air, and you can see that something's cooking. You can see that kind of rising.
That sounds like such an amazing plan. And I would love to be in there to eat food. Is the front door, does it cross paths with the beast?
Not inherently right now, although you assume the beast is probably gonna, it might go to the side of the house, it might sniff around, it might go to the front door. And I would say that, Esther, you would at least know that whatever this is, it's not like a wild creature, probably. Or if it is, it's a wild anthropomorphic creature. Faerun in general has like leonin and tabaxi and stuff. So you know there are just like furry creatures in the world that can speak, but there's also ones that will maul you to death, like a bugbear, and that are bipedal. So it's kind of hard to know in this kind of lighting situation.
For sure. I'm just gonna go knock on the front door.
Okay, so you're gonna go knock on the front door. Do you deliberately look to move so that you arrive there quicker than Mwezi-Mwezi's gate? Because you can see that Mwezi-Mwezi has a very kind of like thing. I'm gonna make you both, Mwezi-Mwezi and Esther, I'm gonna make you both do initiative rolls, and whoever has the higher initiative is the one that gets to the front door first. And I will describe that odd little scene.
Also. That's a 10.
I have a 15.
Okay. Mwezi-Mwezi, you see somebody in like robes in kind of a shadowy figure from your angle. They kind of pop into view, like power walking to jogging toward the front door well before they get there. Does that have you pick up your pace or no?
No, because I want to be careful to not drop who I'm carrying.
Okay.
So
So
I
it's,
still move quickly.
you still move quickly, but it's not so much that like Esther moves super fast as much as Mwezi-Mwezi's like, we'll let them get there. They seem like they have a purpose.
I'm completely thinking like, oh hey, that might be someone who can help this person.
Yeah, and it might be. So you do get to the front door, Esther, earlier. Time is of the essence, though. So do you give it a quick knock, or do you just try the handle? How intense is Esther? Because you are a stranger in a strange land. You don't know how you got here. It was morning where you left. It is snowing and outside here. It's not the comforts of your religious house.
She's gonna just start like banging on the door very quickly, not quite losing, the I'm not opening the door, but just like with a sense of urgency. But
Bella, your door knocks.
I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna say there's an even chance on a d6, so evens. Door is just unlocked. And that is a 2. Door is unlocked. Probably swings open. Dust or ash, it's hard to tell, billowing with it as it goes into quite a dark room where the shadows kind of creep out from the sides of the walls. You can tell there's stuff everywhere, but it is open.
Yeah.
perfect. I immediately take a step inside, and shut the door behind me, kind of like softly. And I've immediately uncommitted to a voice for this character.
That's fine.
And will kind of yell out into the ether. I just be like, "Hi, I'm in your house. Please don't kill me. I think there's maybe a murderer outside, and I saw that you had food from the window, and I'm just gonna walk towards that smell quietly and calmly."
I think you hear mostly muttering as and mostly hair you see if you edge around the corner, and what could probably only be described as a witch over a cauldron stirring a notable branded witchcraft elbow pasta and dairy curds.
I'm so
yes,
sorry.
welcome in, friend. Door still open? You said murderer. Is our large wolf friend okay with the murderer?
Oh no, was he with you? Is he bringing a sacrifice? I don't. Oh my god. Oh, this is terrible. I have to do. I'm so sorry for interrupting.
You do not
your
want food?
spell. I could have a bite. Yeah, I'm already here.
Yes, that's
Seems
what
like
I
you're a
thought.
good chef.
You said you have a bite. It is all okay.
Okay.
And
Do
yeah,
you promise not to kill me, right? We'll be friends. Is this fine?
I can't promise not to kill you, and then you do something, and then I've promised. I give you my word not to kill you. I promise I have
Never
no
do
intention
anything.
currently to kill you. It's a frightening thing to say coming into my house.
and I'm just such a grateful guest. And you're not even gonna
Did
know
you
I'm
come
here.
here from Meadery? How much have you had?
From
It is
no.
festival night. We are celebrating, but are you unwell?
Well, yeah,
And
maybe you could
I'll
just point
usher
me.
her if she lets me and sit her down in a chair.
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Maybe you could just point me in the direction, maybe of that party when I finish your wonderful food that you've.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We have to wait for Wolfman. He seems lost also.
Okay.
Well, you two.
I mean, he does not look to be hunting. Here, look out the window. Watch how he move.
Looking out the window, you don't see anyone because while you've been talking, Mwezi-Mwezi is right at that time is when you, with Body of Scratch, the door's open. Or with the Body of Scratch, like I assume you would normally go to the front door, yes?
Yes.
of a domicile. So you knock on the door. I forgot they gently closed it. So the door's there. So you both
I'll
hear a
just
gentle
a
knock.
polite knock, not a slam, not a worry.
But yeah,
Just rap.
And if I do hear it over my own caterwauling, yes, door is open.
So yeah, I'm just gonna open it and walk in and be like, "Hello, I am Mwezi-Mwezi. This kitty person appeared in front of me, and now they're knocked out. Can you help them?"
Oh dear. Were you also at party? They are usually very fun. Not many people wander this far out, though. Gee. Really, Curse. It's the name of one of the donkeys. He usually carries them back into party. I will do a medicine check if...
Yeah. I will take Scratch and put her down on, like, say, a couch or something.
Some sort of surface.
Yeah, there's plenty of surfaces, none of which can't... all of which have to be brushed off in some way. There are objects everywhere, even surfaces you wouldn't think objects would be on.
Okay,
so use any of them.
So hearing that, I am just going to swipe off a bunch of stuff to make room for her.
Yeah.
Not maliciously, just carelessly.
Give me a medicine check.
That is a 12 medicine check.
12 medicine. They're breathing. Their pulse is strong. It does kind of reinforce your meadery thing. They do smell like they've been drinking. You're not 100% sure this is like a drunken stupor, but it does, with the 12, I think it wouldn't be unfair for you to assume such and be like, oh, it's got to be something like that. However, I will say this, Belladonna, you have never, ever... So, Mwezi-Mwezi is essentially a person that can talk, that is werewolf adjacent looking. Like, hound still, like canine still, very, very, very much something that you can interact with. Scratch is very unique in the way that even if you had seen a Tabaxi, the concept of like a house cat sized one is very strange. And also, I'm going to say that they have a number of strange bits and bobs on them that are a little bit different than anything you would have ever come across, in the way that they're an artificer. And artificers didn't exist back when Barovia was invented. So they don't have artificer technology in Barovia like they do in the rest of Faerun. So the plains to Eberron hadn't. So like they have like some tools you recognize, a hammer, like a chisel of some sort, but they have a couple tools and little bits and bobs on them that are like unique to them. But otherwise, they just look like a passed out palace cat, halfling. Esther, I'll let you decide how you respond to this good looking anthropomorphic boy.
Do I see Esther?
Yeah, I assume Esther, unless you went and hid.
Eating food.
Eating food. Yeah.
Hello, I saw you. No worries about shutting the door.
Okay, so not a murderer. Good to know. Perfect.
Please start right now.
Well, is this the murderer? And you...
Am I?
Okay, so far I've asked to not be killed like twice, and I've gotten not really like committal answers on that, which is minorly
well, you
concerning.
are, again, you run into my home, you say you won't kill me, you say there's a murderer, nice man comes in helping drunk kitty cat. Oh,
I don't have
a
intention.
beautiful kitty cat too. I think she's gonna start petting Scratch. Like, what a large child-shaped kitty cat! I love it.
Give me a D20
fine?
roll, odds or evens.
Stay outside.
Triple A run.
Sorry, which one? No.
Yeah, give me a D20, any dice, odd or even. Just tell me if it's odd or even.
Even.
Okay. It feels like a soft kitty pout. Odds would have been Scratch's fur is a little bit matted and kind of gross. Because that's kind of Scratch's vibe. And I did want to honor that. It's like, yeah, you never know. Scratch carried a
It was
lot
a
of
good day.
pocket
It was
shrimp
wash
in the
day.
game they were in, so that gives you a vibe of who they are as a person. But yeah,
I will
yeah.
at least not kill you right now.
Okay, well
But
that's kind of like a both answer, I guess, for both of you. So I'm safe for the time being, which is great. And it seems like you guys have truly figured whatever the situation is with the cat and the werewolves and the. Anyway, can one of you point me back? I don't think I'm supposed to be here. This has been a wild couple of minutes.
But okay, just a couple of minutes. You did not. So you weren't from the party then. You did not come from Midori.
Oh, absolutely not. I didn't even come from this. I came out of a cave. I don't know how I got there.
And is Belladonna familiar with people magically stumbling out of caves around
So
here?
not usually the cave, but yes, this is not your first time. There's a lot around. This is not your first time meeting someone from not Barovia that's found themselves in Barovia, unbeknownst to how they got here. Usually, they just come through the woods. Typically, they come through kind of like a wooded area, but sometimes they do come out of one of the mountains. And so, yeah, that's indeed like oftentimes they don't come out usually by your place. If they come out of a mountain, it's usually Mount Gacus or Mount Baratok. But it's all kind of woods and hilly, kind of rocky mountainage on the exterior, so it's not surprising. But yeah, this is that they're strangers, they're non-Barovians, but or at least that Esther is.
yeah, I do not come
Okay.
from party either. I'm not sure what you mean.
You did you also come out of cave nearby
Yes.
here?
Yes.
And
Was
did
that circus
did
then
it
cave?
perhaps look like? Huh? What? Sorry? Huh?
I was at circus, and then I went in there. I gave the man the ticket, and now I'm at cave.
Mm-hmm.
And what about you? Where were you before cave?
Oh, I was just at work. It was, and then I went into a little ice freezer. And now I'm in a cave.
Okay, so you welcome, huh? There's a party. Welcome.
You go.
This is Borovia. You are trapped here. I'm
Oh,
very sorry. I'm going. She takes a huge bottle out of nowhere. Giant glass bottle, ornate, beautiful amber bottle with like glass bees sort of bubbling out of the sides, and sets it heavily on the table, and slides a couple of cute little tumblers around, all mismatched but all adorable in their own way. Please help yourself. Help yourself. It's a lot of news. We will have a lot of things to cover, but important thing is unusual for you to come here, which means I think you are sent here to help me specifically. So we're gonna have to all think about that for a little bit.
sure, right. Like there's kind of like a little baby redemption arc, right? We help you, then we're free, and it's all good. We learn a life lesson, right?
Yes, exactly like that. Except bloody revenge.
Oh,
But there's
Don't worry
bloody.
about it right now. There's a lot going on. A lot going on.
Esther just grabs one of the bottles and just pours the largest glass she possibly can.
And Belladonna is noting all of this down too. She's brushing other things off and finding any notebooks she can, and is connecting dots as to why these people must have showed up here. All part of her many journals that lead to other journals, leading to other journals.
So when the bottle is opened, I give it a sniff, and what does it? Like, what is it?
It's mead. It
mead.
smells very musty florals, more woody florals.
Okay. Okay.
But it is mead.
Then I will pour myself a little cup and just take small sips and go, oh, okay, this is like the old people drink. and just continue like, now, how does Bloody Revenge work with the Goodest Boy competition? It doesn't seem like that would be something a good boy would do.
Oh, I'm not sure. Again, it's very complicated. We're all gonna have to figure a lot of things out. The people, they show up here as it's a lot. Can I look around and see if I have any within my books any history of Barovia, or like maybe even a pamphlet about Barovia?
Yeah, give me a D20.
Some sort of media material.
Let's see if there's a Barovian. You definitely have some knowledge I can feed you, but let's see if there's a fun little welcome to Barovia pamphlet. You know what? Fuck it. We're not even rolling for that. Yes, you have many of the Barovian citizens have that tend to deal with outsiders occasionally, and because of where you're positioned, you don't often run into them at your meadery, but when you're in the town of Barovia, you definitely have run into some of them, and everything. So there are little welcome to Barovia pamphlets out that you can hand off to these two wandering souls. But while you do that, Belladonna, I would like you to make a perception check on Esther. Oh, you're attending. This is when I immediately introduce PvP for no apparent reason.
That's going to be 15.
Esther, I assume since you were dressed, you're dressed well within the concept of your role at your kind of new, we'll call it cathedral, because that's definitely what it was before your order took it over. But you're still a cleric of Lathander. Would you describe what sort of piece or design on clothing or something that you have, where it would be? You don't have to describe the whole piece if you don't have a vision for it, but would it be like a necklace? Would it be something on your sleeve? Would it be something across a tabard or across your front? Where would your religiosity expose itself?
I feel like it would be both kind of embroidered into the robe piece somewhere, perhaps on the sleeves or a little name tag area, and she probably also has a nice gold chain that she's clearly it's not it's a fancier one that's she went out and bought on herself. It's not uniform standard, and it's just of the symbol of Lathander, which is a circle with a little line in the center, and then it's 3 triangles and then a little sunrise kind of shape. This is canon.
Yep, that's symbol. The canon shape. And so Belladonna, as you're handing the pamphlets out, you're going to see that, and we're going to get back to why that's important specifically for you in a moment. But Esther and Mwezi-Mwezi, you get this little trifold, hand scripted, because there's not they wouldn't have printing pressed this too much, but it's very much a travel brochure. And it starts off, so you're a stranger in Barovia. Welcome to the beautiful lands of Barovia, where the sun never truly rises, and you will listen to Strahd von Zarovich and his commands as is necessary. You've been brought into Barovia, whether through some of our Vistani friends or by ancient calling, trickery, fey magic, or otherwise. You are now a new citizen of Barovia. You've been brought here by chance, but you can make a difference. You can make a difference. Things first to know about Barovia. Barovia, you cannot leave. If you attempt to go to the fog cloudy area, you will die or be turned back around into Barovia. There is no way to overcome this by magic. There is no way for you to escape by some powerful wizard spell. You, like all of us, are cursed. But being cursed isn't so bad. Being cursed, it can be quite nice. Barovia is a very tight-knit community with a long and historied culture behind it. Please enjoy our many splendors, like the Wizard's Wines, or avoid the tree at the top of the hill near it. But otherwise, you should be fine here in Barovia. Remember, don't hurt the ravens. Ravens or crows. That would be very bad. And if you hear anything in the night calling out for you, no, you didn't. You should most likely head to Barovia the town to learn more information and shop at some of our wonderful shops here. Including Bildrath's Mercantile, Blood and Vine Tavern, and of course, make a pit stop by the church or cemetery, preferably the cemetery during the day. Please avoid Mad Mary's townhouse. I know it's sad, or we know it's sad. There's nothing you can do. Thank you from the citizens of Barovia. And then there's a couple pictures of some like very stoic looking children. Like maybe they're playing a game, but they're both just staring directly. It's like hand artists, but it looks like they're staring in that like cold 19th century photograph look where just nobody smiles and they just stand there for record keeping apparently. And one of them's got a hoop and another one's got a stick, but you're not sure what they're doing with them. And then and you can see kind of a nice artistic rendering that is shockingly accurate, Belladonna, from that. But that is what Esther and Mwezi-Mwezi get downloaded from that pamphlet. Essentially, reinforcements of you can't escape, don't hurt the ravens, you're stuck in this valley, someone named Strahd Van Zarvich is in charge, and you should probably head to Barovia, the town. But all that's happening, Belladonna, while you are looking at that sun symbol. As a Barovian, there are two gods that have ever mattered in this place. The god that existed here before Strahd's reign, and the god reign that seems to have abandoned you all for betraying them, and the god that will not hear your prayers, even though they clearly hold significant influence here still. There is the Night Mother and the Morning Lord. The symbol that Esther has on their chest and on their necklace is the symbol of the Morning Lord. There hasn't been anything, you have no information, have never heard of any sort of worshiper of the Morning Lord or anything related to the Morning Lord ever coming into Barovia. The Morning Lord is the god of the dawn and the sun and brightness. It almost is absurd to think that they would come to this place of hundreds of years of gray sunrise to sunset and then night. And so here you have someone, whether or not you comment on that is up to you, but you know in your relatively competent history that the Morning Lord had abandoned Barovia because of something that Barovians did. And that thus Strahd, and thus the curse that you all live under. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Downloaded.
But you've read the things, you've got the food in front of you, you're both seated. I'll leave it to you guys to continue to discuss.
Well, this is great. We got a little set of rules. We know what we're doing. I mean, you've been such a gracious host. I hate to bring it up, but really nothing in this pamphlet says we're supposed to help you. So...
No. This is just the basics. This is for everyone. Not everyone who comes here is to help me. That would be ridiculous. No, just you specifically right now. Because you're on
have
the...
to, You don't have
came
to ask
into
me
my
to do
house.
that.
You've eaten my food. You've drank my mead.
Oh no, is it
And
like
you're stuck
Fae rules?
No.
Do you owe my soul now?
Yes.
Oh, this is a disaster.
I make an Arcana check. My Arcana is not good.
You could make an Arcana or religion or a perception or an insight check. Arcana, insight, or religion on this whole
Religion. It's all the same. It's all the same.
Yeah.
I'm not a learned person.
And then
10, I think.
all right. So this is a contested roll. Don't tell us which. Roll either a persuasion or deception check, Belladonna, and just tell us what the number is.
Yeah, sorry. I can read.
Well, what you get? What should you get on that die?
That's going to be a total of 22.
Total of 22.
Seems legit.
Yeah, it seems whatever it is, it's definitely correct. That's 100%. Yeah.
Well, I guess I'll have to do the bloody murder because it must be that I must escape here.
It's
when
not
good is
bloody
fought.
murder. It's bloody vengeance.
Usually,
Murder
vengeance
is an
murder.
unjustified killing. No, we're throwing murder around already so much. No one's
Well,
talking about murder.
What are the crimes?
Murder.
An eye for an eye. Just stab me with an eye.
No one's talking about murder. What are the crimes? Murder. That could not have gone better as I give it a beat. An eye for an eye. Continue.
The
You've got
crime
some time.
is everything. The crime is all of it. Everything that is going on from the bottom to the top. There is no sun. There is no sun here. It is a punishment for things we did not do. And it is being kept up. It is being continued, though we no longer deserve it. This is an attack against all of us every day to keep Strahd happy. We are his playthings, and it is no longer fair. I am no longer willing to play this game, and I can show you. And she digs through her notebooks and starts putting stuff up on a wall that has seen a lot of papers on a wall going up and down. She's gonna start just plastering all her pet theories.
Yeah. How accurate on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being dead on accurate for the region to 1 being completely buck wild theories, do you think Belladonna has?
I think it covers the entire spectrum, but there's just so much of it. She's nailed. It's kind of a monkeys with typewriters for 1,000 years situation. Yeah.
Best of times, it was the blurst of times. Yeah, give me Esther and Mwezi-Mwezi. I suppose I should first ask, do you give these documents that this... So the first thing, without rolling, that you both notice and can take in however form your characters to take it, is that I think Esther, based off of the vibe and the stance and the voice and energy, you would assume that you were speaking to a peer at first, an older woman, big grandma energy, but then upon clear, repeated glances, this is a young woman. Like this could be your granddaughter age of that. If I remember correctly, Belladonna's in their early 20s.
Early 30s.
Early 30s. So this could be your daughter, young daughter age, and everything. It is shocking how rough the years look on this person right now. They're not in a good physical state of form right now. So in that, you definitely see that. Mwezi, you see. I'm gonna say that you smell this. Just to clarify, to make clear, you've been living here for more than a handful of months, right, Belladonna? Like this is the house that you have lived in.
Yes,
Yeah.
This is where I lived before.
Yeah.
For so
So
probably
this is
since
where you
my
both.
teen years.
Yeah. This is where, and so Mwezi, you smell a hint of another resident here, but it's not fresh. It's
Mm-hmm.
weeks and weeks old. At this point, maybe a handful of months. But there's definitely someone you know what dens smell like, and you know how to pick out a denizen versus a visitor. And there's definitely another scent here that is there. Do either of you give these papers a serious look over, or what do you do as Belladonna sort of puts up their conspiracy board chart?
I'm going to take a very serious look because even though it would be like a granddaughter to me, it sounds like she's about my sister's age. So of course I gotta help my big sister and understand all this stuff. And it's weird. No one's like ever asked me like to think about things, but I can do that. And surely it'll all work out.
All right.
So yeah, I'm looking deeper at them.
What about you, Esther?
Esther immediately is like, "Oh, all of those papers mean nothing. This person is clearly malnourished to the point of insanity." And she starts to feel immediately so bad for eating the dinner that the person has provided. And she's like counting her coins to be like, "Well, we could probably take her to the they said there was an inn or something we'll get some meat on her bones yet." So the mostly immediate like, "Oh, this place is silly." She now has a granddaughter to take care of, or a daughter.
A daughter, yeah. A young daughter that you had when you were a little bit older, like an appropriate current era daughter. For instance, like you were in your mid to late 30s when you had your kid, and now they're in their they're in their 30s. But like for fantasy D&D types, it's like, oh, it's so late to have a kid in your 30s. Just first one. Crazy. Mwezi, I'm gonna have you give me just a straight D20 luck check, and the luck here is what I am going to what we are going to reveal to Mwezi are important notes that you remember. And if it's a high number, those notes are accurate. And if it's a low number, they're you don't know. And it's basically, am I gonna say them or is Courtney gonna say them?
Hell yeah.
Courtney will just say things and they might be accurate.
Here we go. 7. That's a
7.
low number.
All right. The one that I will say is the one that lines up with this. Strahd, with the pamphlet. Strahd von Zarovich is the Lord Baron ruler, the Count of the land of Barovia. And there is too much that definitely you can see across these notes for that not to be the case. And it was also in the pamphlet. And so, and you quickly understand that they are that is a very clear truth, in the way that you don't necessarily know 100% around it, like how they are that way or how they necessarily do or don't rule, but you do know that they absolutely are the source of power, seat of power here. Otherwise, Courtney, would you as Belladonna like to throw out some random theories about Barovia and its history right now, knowing the thing that you know is that Strahd has been in power for hundreds of years, that the Morning Lord abandoned you because of something that the Barovians did, but you do not know what that is, and you do know that it was hundreds of years ago, before Strahd's, shortly before Strahd's time, and that the place is dangerous. Those are the things that you definitely know about, Barovia and its lands. Anything else you want to say? And then we'll find out how many of those things are real or not as I privately roll to see which ones are or aren't correct. Or if you happen upon one that is just definitely correct. You are muted.
Sorry, it's a new headset, and there's like 5 different ways to mute it, and I always check the 4 that I didn't use the last time.
Perfectly fine. Okay.
Sorry. So I think a lot of what she has, as far as physical notes go, besides expanding on the outline from the pamphlet and like excerpts from history, is a lot of coincidences with other interviews with other strangers to Barovia and what all links them together and things that they have done together. And our big theory here is that if she finds the right group of strangers, people from outside of Barovia, with the powers that come from outside of Barovia, we can, fight the magic within Barovia, but a lot more crazy, and I don't have the energy to ad-lib the 30-minute speech she would give to convey that information.
You do see Mwezi-Mwezi, a lot of people that, like, a lot of names that you wouldn't know, and a lot of people, but there are, like, identifiers and some consistent community things that you would be like, oh, yeah, that sounds like people from this region, because I know that region roughly, or I've heard tell. Most importantly, you hear a lot of city names that you would have heard in passing, like Neverwinter, or Baldur's Gate, or Waterdeep, or Icewind Dale. A lot of Icewind Dale, weirdly enough. Just a lot of people from that. And you know what the Sword Coast is roughly, whether or not you've actually been there. It's a mainstay of some people from Greyhawk and everything. So these are like, this would be like someone that, like, regardless of if they've been there, they know what California and like Los Angeles is. They know what New York and New York City is.
Far off cities that don't matter.
That have never really impacted your life, but they all seem to be real places. You've never heard of Barovia, but there's plenty of places you haven't heard of, and it doesn't seem like this is near those places. So why would you have? Interestingly enough, it does paint a picture of sort of a call of destiny of a bunch of people that seem to wander into Barovia, and with the fate, destiny, or hand of some other power, here to save Barovia from the wicked Strahd von Zarovich. That is kind of the overall arcing energy of all of this. Some of them seem to be conscious of this. Others seem to be, not sure of it. But sometimes it seems like people are like, yeah, that's why I'm here. And everything.
It's great because as a player, I can immediately know, no, you shouldn't be believing in this prophecy, or that you are the person to solve it. As a character, this is it. I prove it. This is how I become the goodest boy.
This is the competition you were invited to.
Exactly. This must be it. I'm sure I will not change my mind later.
I think after like a little bit of ranting, like, what do you see? You see here, right? We all
I
come.
see, sister. I am ready to help.
With special talents. What?
I can
Let's start over for just a moment.
Oh.
I have been hospitable but so rude. I have not even introduced myself or asked your names. My name is Belladonna Amaryllis. My mother calls me Belladonna. My father calls me Bells. My friends call me Rillis. You can call me whatever you like.
Okay, sister. I am Mwezi-Mwezi. You can call me whatever you like.
I'm Esther, and please don't call me anything else.
Whatever you ask. And does anybody know the name of adorable child kitty cat?
Do you look around for identification on Scratch?
Why would I check for a cat, a child cat, for
I mean, they have
wallet?
pockets and stuff like that. They have a bunch of different
I don't reach into children's pockets. That's a crazy thing to do.
I would say that based off
Should
of
I look?
What?
Does he have a little helpful identification bracelet?
I'm going to actually start looking through Scratch's thing. Like I've never heard of people having stuff like this, but maybe.
Some people have like diaries or journals that they carry where they write, they write about their lives. Scratch actually has identification on them. Scratch isn't from Pharaoh. Scratch has ID on them. You see this is what they get for not being here in the first session. You see something Mwezi-Mwezi that you have never really seen before, which is it's printed and it's again artistically rendered, probably magically transferred. There is an image of Scratch with two of their paw fingers up in a V shape with their tongue in between them, looking at it, and it just says Scratch of the Twisting Peaks. Twisting Peaks, and it says champion armor, a mechanist, and you can read it. It's in common. Champion armor mechanist, and it says age, and we're gonna say age. It says age, and it just has in quotes old enough on it. And then it says gender, and there's an F next to it, and it says species, and it says a hot little palace cat, and that is Scratch's identification. That you also see some like small little printed cards with some terminologies that you don't really recognize, but they say words like certification, and you see something that says like bank credit note, that you don't recognize the location or anything else. Those are just kind of the words you understand. And then you see a bunch of lewd little sketches and drawings in like a little notebook that they have, that are really arguably scandalous and gently offensive. But yeah, very crass.
As soon as I see that, I'm going to close it up and just put it back quietly. So, Kitty person seems to be Scratch of the Twisting
Peaks.
Twisting Peaks. And she is hot a palace cat.
Yes, does not seem to be child at all. Just very small.
I hold out like the idea.
Bundle of trouble. Think I'm going to like her. Wake up, kitty cat.
The cat's eyes kind of partially open, and that secondary white eyelid that goes across them does not move, and then they close again. And then they, I don't know, burp, a little alcohol burp, and then shift and go back to sleep.
Okay. Well, I guess she's in just by default.
I'm sure she'll be winning. And if not, she can go her own way.
In this time, you all begin to hear I'm going to have all of you roll actually, no, just tell me your passive perceptions. I can also look them up. But you should
11.
have them on your character sheets.
14.
I believe it's under your saving throws on the main page of the character sheets. Unless you're using mobile, then I can't help you. 12, 14. Esther, this is all... Strange. It's not looking good for you just rolling back to your new digs. That is definitely not looking great. This person is very scattered. The passed out cat lady seems to be fine-ish. And these strangers seem to be quite the characters, but your thought process, whatever it is interrupted by an incredibly haunting howl. You
Is that
hear
the actual murderer?
Yeah, just a full wolf, like, oh.
Being murdered. You keep saying murder. Did you find a body? Should we?
This seems like a murdery place. I don't. Can
Oh,
I
that's
quickly?
Yeah.
Can I run to the window and like see if I can?
So
I move blinds like it's not already open, but
yeah, you go to the window. You
Cobwebs.
don't see any kind of evidence of wolves, but you do see something that Belladonna wouldn't be as perturbed by. But it is the first moon, and so you see they mentioned that there was some sort of event or celebration in town, or at the meadery. You do see a number of spectral figures walking down from the mists and the mountains, kind of from the direction you all came, through the orchard. They don't seem to veer toward the home and everything, and they're dressed in various attire. Some of it you would recognize, Esther, as kind of like the local casual armor of fashion of the time. Some of it you haven't seen since you were a little kid. You're like, oh, that's weird. They don't usually wear scales anymore for their armor. That's not in vogue currently. Isn't that from a kingdom that hasn't existed in like 40 years? And everything. And some of them are older than that, as a bunch of spectered ghosts are beginning to make their way sort of up and a little bit north of or roughly north in the direction, which kind of goes back into the woods for a bit, and then you don't know where it is. But I would say inside of you, a few dozen are just sort of slow walking in that direction, sort of like zombie pacing. But these are definitely full like spectral ghosts. They're green and semi-transparent, and you can see a relative amount of detail on them.
So they're walking like away from the house.
Yeah. They're not. They don't seem concerned with the house or anything like that.
Perfect. I'll turn back around and go, okay, everybody, really good news. It's not a murderer, probably. But the unfortunate news is, Belladonna, you have a lot of ghosts leaving the area, and I don't know if you need to keep them in here or if they're allowed to free roam. But they're going.
No, Esther, dear. Remember when I told you you cannot leave? Remember the pamphlet? Remember, you cannot leave. Death does not let you escape. You are really, 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 really trapped here. Like a lot. Unless you help me. So kind of a win-win anyway. Like, if we completely change the whole system, just kill the wither a little bit, then you guys can go home, maybe, probably, I don't know.
Where are they going then?
Belladonna, you know that they're going first to Barovia, the town. They are traveling on, what's the name of the road? They're traveling on, pull it up. They're going up to the old Svalik Road, which runs pretty much the length of the valley of Barovia, but specifically is the nearby road that you would take to go to the village of Barovia. And they will pass through the town. They will pass beyond the town, go up and around to Castle Ravenloft, and then dissipate where Strahd's seat of power is. These are... Belladonna, you know that these are the former strangers that have tried in the past to address, or maybe didn't try to address, and have met their ends here in Barovia. And indeed, you are correct. Just because, even in death, nothing leaves Barovia.
They die. If you die here, if you live long life here, I guess, make new home, and you die here, you do the march. You always march for Strahd, just because it amuses him to have you here, to keep you here, to doom you here forever.
Oh. This is such a
Yeah,
bummer.
it's not very fun. Also, no sunshine. Don't you have a problem with that?
Do I read that as like personally aggressive or like?
Yeah, I physically point at her, so
Yeah.
I hope it comes off as aggressive.
I don't have any problem with like, you believe what you want to believe. You do your own thing here in the weird shadowy darkness
No,
corner.
it's not whether or not you believe. The sun does not shine.
Hey, but maybe that's why I was brought here, because you said that just now that there's no light in here, and I think that was recorded and on stream, and
It was.
and so this is great. And now I'm here. We're gonna team up, and we're gonna get rid of Strahd, and that's why it's
Yes,
us.
exactly. You understand perfectly exactly what's happening. This is going so well.
It is a redemption arc. I understand now. Gonna get out of here. We got it.
I can't wait for Scratch to come and give some reasonable reaction to this situation.
Dude, one kind of panicked, but like, all right, kind of thing, and one just completely get along, good boy. That's just like, yeah, this all sounds fine. This all tracks. Now all of you can hear the howling. Belladonna, you know the howling is not part of the procession of spirits.
Okay, so besides all of this, there's also just like usually other bad stuff happening. I don't know what's going on with the howling.
Oh, that's not part of the ghosts. Oh.
No, separate bad thing.
Well, they're necessarily bad. They sound like me.
Oh, you could go talk to him then.
Can I get a recap on the adjectives you used? Maybe I imposed some adjectives, but I thought you said haunting, otherworldly, bad howling.
Yeah,
or
it's
is it
bad
just normal
howling. No. So now that you can hear it, I think Mwezi, your instinct first is that it's just howling. And then the moment that they even present in your mind that it might not just be howling, the animal part of you comes in. This is not safe howling.
We can roll back to that. It's just
I think it's perfectly fair that you would at first be like, no, it's just howling, and some creatures howl. And now that you're listening to it, really listening to it, you're like, oh no, we're stalking something howling.
Yeah. Then I just turn and start looking and pay attention to that. Like, that's going to be the focus. Not even talking, anything like that. Just
you both see a very classic image of a canine immediately having kind of that serious canine look of something's out there, and I'm not 100% confident that it's chill. So the howling happens. Give me a history check, Belladonna.
Going to be a 12.
Okay. With a 12, one of your many beliefs in Barovia, though no one's 100%, you can't be sure of this, is because Strahd seems to be very powerful and very much in everyone's business. You know that he's a vampire, and you know that he can turn into a bat. A lot of people believe that Strahd is everywhere all the time. You don't know that that's true, but it could be true. a lot of people blame everything on Strahd. You might be one of those people these days, but but a lot of people in Barovia are like, oh, I burnt my toast. Strahd is displeased with me, right? Like, he's not in any way a deity, and everyone is aware that he is not a deity. But for all intents and purposes, might as well be here. He seems to know what's going on. Seems to show up at the darndest moments, and everything. So there is a bit of a rumor that Strahd can control all of the wildlife, like all of it in Barovia. You don't know if that's true. You don't know it's not true, but it might be true, and it's definitely one of your theories.
I disagree. She knows it's true. In her heart, she knows that is true. That is 100% true. I see you looking at me, bird. I'm not tricking me.
Yeah. And so you would suspect that this simply must be Strahd. Strahd's doing, which isn't surprising. You know that Strahd knows when people enters his land. You don't know how much of that he knows, but you know that he does. What am I gonna pick for you? You're gonna be this. And so one of the new or interesting little bits of thing is that howling is joined by other voices, and they are getting closer. They still seem fairly far off. You've got an open window right now, but it is getting kind of closer to the thing. What do you do, Belladonna, and also Esther, since you're there, since we know that Mwezi-Mwezi is just like focused in the rough direction?
I am going to actually grab my bag, just straight there change into hunting gear rather than my finery. No asking, no modesty, just get into it.
You just watch this anthropomorphic dog man just like straight up flip into a new outfit right in front of y'all.
And then pull out my big machete and my spears, and then go back to my vigil.
I don't necessarily know that they are coming here, but everything bad that could possibly happen usually happens. Do you have a weapon, Mom?
I reach into my little bag and I pull out a mace that I've had the whole time.
Yeah, you do have just like a classic cleric's mace. It is adorned. It's not magical, but it is adorned with a stamp of the Morning Lord on it. And so it is there. It is the most expensive mace you've ever seen, Belladonna. Like, this mace is so...
It's bejeweled.
It's bejeweled. It is a solid... Like, it's easily you're a person of magical affluence, and so you immediately know that it is in no way a magical mace. It is 250 gold worth of mace in just a hand weapon. It looks like it's also an actual mace. It's just pointlessly more expensive than it needs to be.
Okay. Perfect. I think Belladonna grabs the bottle off of the table and maybe carefully slides the window closed, peeking out, but trying not to be too much in the way of the window. One of you maybe want to go see if we can lock the door, or I'm gonna put a bunch of trash over Scratch, disguise her on the table.
I'll run and try to lock the door. Like, as soon as one of you, almost before, as soon as he says that, I'll take steps, and then wait, I didn't hear. Okay, now I know. Go lock the door.
Yeah, you can. I mean, it's Barovia. There's bar. Every door can be barred in Barovia. There's no question.
And then I'm going to just resume my vigil, but like with the door in view, because I feel that just seems likely.
Yeah, I think it's probably a standard maneuver she's used to, the like kind of batten down the hatches maneuver, where you just kind of blend in quietly and see whether or not they're coming for you.
So no one has to see it to hear it. As a pack, not a huge one, somewhere around a half dozen, give or take, of wolves is approaching the approaching your home here. None of the specters do anything. They don't interact with them. They don't seem like they're plugged into the reality of the world around them. You can hear their footpads in the snow. You begin to hear the kind of like heavy breath and huffing of animals sniffing out. And you begin to hear them sort of paw at the door, but not aggressively so. You're not hearing growling or anything. More, I'm going to go Mwezi-Mwezi, give me a either survival check or animal handling check. Animal handling only option for Esther and Belladonna.
Survival. That's 15.
Uh, 10.
10 for Esther.
That was a natural one for Belladonna.
They sound like wolves to Belladonna and Esther. Mwezi-Mwezi, it's almost like they're smugly hunting, which is a weird energy for you to process because smugness is very humanoid. Wolves and dogs don't really have that. They have pride, but not smugness.
Okay.
And everything. And so this is a very strange energy coming from a pack of wolves. Of being like, it's almost like, it's weird that you took a small cat. Very feline energy coming from them. Like they're toying with it. Very overconfident. As they kind of sniff around the edge of this place.
They're overconfident. This could be a benefit. Is what I just say to them. And like, I'm actually going to pull out a spear and ready to throw it if something does try to get in. Like not, just if I see a body, I'll wait till I verify what it is. But if I know it's hostile, forget it. We on.
On site.
Yep.
Esther, you were going to say something?
I think Esther is mostly just like considering the fact that like the person who's from here didn't grab a weapon, but just grabbed like a loose bottle. And she's torn between it meaning that with us having weapons, we are confidently going to win, or that like nobody here can fight. And so we are absolutely gonna lose. And so she's like, are we overconfident? So she's like considering that in her head with her mates.
I'm not going to explain. As a player, I would, but
And to be fair, upon glancing, she doesn't look like a fighter.
She doesn't look like she could withstand a strong draft. So
She also like maybe to Esther as well, not immediately going for a weapon is like, oh, this isn't worth the time, And I'm like, oh, she's seen this before. Like it's fine, There's a lot of angles and none of them are correct.
None of them are correct. No one could expect this angle. This is a first time for all of you, including you, Belladonna. As not a first time that wolves came to your door. Wolves have come to your door before. But a first time that I need because of what you stated, Mwezi-Mwezi, I need a perception or insight or arcana check from you. Your choice.
Let's see here.
No need for this immediately for Esther or Belladonna.
Not all the same at all of those. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. All right. Your held action, if you will, of doing this, you will not, it'll be your choice whether this triggers it, because you will immediately know that what appears before you is not physical, nor did it come through the door.
Then yeah, no, I'm going to at least not, I'm going to point my spirit like away from it, because if it's physical, I can't hit it.
Yeah.
And my logic is also, well, it's a spirit. Spirits might be helpful. They might not be.
It coalesces first as mist. Red mist. Wet red mist. Belladonna, you're confident it's blood. Esther, you're like 50-50 on, like, it shouldn't be blood, but it could be blood. And everything.
Does it smell like blood?
Mwezi, it smells like blood. But it coalesces into a mist, but then forms into a, I'm going to say 75% opaque figure. 6.5 feet tall, long black hair slicked back over dark leathers and finery. A face that bespeaks both strength and disdain. Heavy volume in the lips, but very pale. Dark eyes that aren't looking directly at you, but you know they can see you. They're choosing to look through all of you. To some sort of like silver in color, if not in metal. Necklaces, jewelry, hints of finery, but not ostentatious. Belladonna, you know that this is Strahd von Zarovich. But Strahd von Zarovich has never made a personal appearance in your home before, at least that you were there for. And out of this threateningly handsome, kind of alluringly cruel looking man with a strong jaw and a powerful form. Hello, Belladonna. It seems we have some company here. New visitors to the beautiful lands that I control, Barovia. I am the Count Lord von Zarovich. It is a pleasure to welcome you. This is absolutely Courtney's fault.
Belladonna is terror-struck. She's genuinely terror-struck. And she does stick her chin up defiantly, and she does manage to meet his gaze, but can't say anything, and just shakes, holding the bottle, completely intimidated.
Then I was going to turn and look at her to kind of judge. And
it sounds like this voice to you, Mwezi-Mwezi and Esther. It sounds like this voice. It does. This is not a voice that sounds scary. It sounds like the voice I'm doing. But Belladonna looks absolutely terrified.
Yeah. So I'm still not going to point a spear at him, but like I'm going to definitely have it more ready than I did.
May I have your names? I'm so interested in new people in my lands.
I've already been tricked by the Fae rules before. You will not have my name. Thank you.
Fae trick, I promise there are no Fae allowed in my domain. They would not do well here. But I will not force you, of course, to give me your name. What about you, my fine furried friend? Looking over at Mwezi-Mwezi.
Should I, Sister Belladonna? No, no name.
All right, well, I've sent a welcome committee your way. I'm so excited for you to spend time with them and here in Barovia. They're outside your door. I would hate for them to have to invite themselves in. It seems like such a nice place here as they look around your home, Belladonna.
Still looking big, but saying pretty much nothing, making some consonant sounds. But
Oh, in case you didn't get my missive, you've received no such thing. Condolences for your recent loss. And then it's like, please feel free. They are fans of treats. They have no dietary restrictions. I will hopefully see you all later, and perhaps we can share a cup of wine and conversation, and you can tell me of the places you are far off from. I need Esther specifically to give me a perception check as this Strahd like dissipates.
It's gonna be a 6. Be a 6 with a +4.
All right. Dice do not want you to know things today. That's fine.
I'm gleefully ignorant in this land.
Would a religion or insight check do you better on that? I guess it's a +4, so
well, so my insight would be a +6, which would make it an 8.
8. Not better enough for it to matter. Okay. Just not over 10. So Strahd kind of evaporates into the same sort of blood mist, and then the mist disappears as well. Mist disappears as well, and you are left with the sounds of wolves circling and beginning to scratch a little bit more at the doorways.
Very strong.
yeah, you better run. That's what I thought. She said that very quietly.
You did really good there. You were so brave. I saw it. You were standing up, and your chin. Oh, confidence.
Thank you.
And like give you like a tiny little pat, but like overly gentle because I don't want to break your bones.
It sets the bottle down with a heavy thunk. Does not remove her hand, but like races on the table. Takes a deep breath. How close do the wolves sound?
They are outside the house, circling it, scratching at its walls. And you know that they will come in if you do not go out to greet them. And you are every bit as confident, Belladonna, because you know something that these travelers do not know. Strahd does know when somebody new enters his domain. And Strahd never leaves them alone for long. And some of them get to spend years here, and others get to spend minutes here. The good news is that as far as you can tell, the ones that are threatened early are actually potentially more of a problem for Strahd than Strahd would ever want to admit. The ones that get to live for a long time present no threat. So, good news. At least two of these people, you don't know about the cat, but two of these people are in some way enough for him to make an appearance and immediately send a welcoming party. That welcoming party will physically threaten you. What do you three do?
I'm gonna turn to like them. We need a plan. What do you have any ideas?
I was
I'm
thinking.
not,
Oh, it's your house.
I'm not much of a fighter, but I can try. They will
Okay,
come in
then
either way. We should go out to meet them. Unfortunately, maybe we can
can to meet them.
only allow so much through. I don't know. We should. I'm just gonna go to the door. I think I pick up the lantern. I have the bottle in one hand. I grab the lantern and I go to open the door.
As she opens the door, I'm just going to go ahead, walk over, and nod, and begin to step out because it seems like I'm probably doing the most fighting here.
You all, as you begin to move to the door to open it, the wolves move quickly. Not to rush the door, but in fact to stand in a gathering maybe 20, 30 feet away in a nice little circle. Mwezi, you know this, that they are inviting you out to, quote unquote, play with them. That's not what wolves would do. They would, if they really wanted something inside of a place, they would enter it. These are not normal wolves. These are wolves for a purpose.
My operating assumption is they're just, in animal form, were creatures. So presumably.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not behaving normally, so that's the reasonable expectation.
They are not violent yet, but they want to play. I will go talk. And I'm going to go over there and sit and display non-aggression. Not submissiveness, but non-aggression.
As you watch Mwezi-Mwezi leave into the area, I'm going to give Esther and Belladonna a chance to choose if they interrupt this action or not. Belladonna, I don't think there's any version, regardless of the reality of the moment, where you would think walking out to greet wolves is a good idea in Barovia. But you haven't hung out with a lot of
Have I ever heard of this happening before? Have I ever heard of wolves gathering in a crazy circle and doing people stuff?
You don't hear a lot about the wolves other than avoid them, because anyone that's experienced wolves doesn't come back from wolves. It's sort of a survivor's bias of well, everyone that's definitely not been killed by wolves has been smart and made sure that they weren't killed by wolves. So you don't really know how they're supposed to behave here. You do know that there are werewolves, and that some of the werewolves can go full wolf, and some of them can never get out of their werewolf form, and some of them can walk around as if they were regular, normal humanoids. Barovia is not werewolves are not controlled by the phases of the moon. So there's just a variety of types. But yeah, and so it's hard it's not like a knowledge so much as it is a Like how when you hear a scary noise in the woods, unless you're like a white dude, you don't walk to it, you stay away from it. What are you gonna do? Kind of thing. It's a survival sort of learned thing to just like the wolves are never perceived in Barovia as a safe thing.
Oh, this. I've never met a person who saw wolves and lived.
Perhaps that would be different.
You
Esther
walk.
appreciates the confidence.
Esther's just like, all right, I don't know this
You're like,
person. I
sure,
don't know what they got.
get 'em.
I'm sorry, Steve.
No, this is great. This is great. The wolves watch you curiously. Do you say anything to them, or do you just sort of position yourself?
No, okay, this is such a bad idea, but it's exactly what Mwezi-Mwezi would do. He's actually going to shift to a more to the feral form, like them.
They
So he'll like, yeah.
They see you in your more full animal form, right? Your full canine form, and they see that you are some sort of shapeshifter. You are some sort of animal-based shapeshifter, probably a druid. They know what druids are, and everything. They're very familiar with this, but more importantly, they see that there are two more people past you. The door is open. You've come out to greet them. The last thing that happens in this session is, are you still in like kind of a non-aggressive, so like a we'll call it a seated position as
Yes.
the canine?
Yes.
One of these 6 wolves goes in a bolting action straight at Mwezi. The other 5 move to go past Mwezi to the door. And next time, I'm going to have Mwezi will roll initiative with disadvantage. Scratch probably will be too. And then Belladonna and Esther, you will be able to roll it normal. Yeah, they are hiding under the trash, so depending on how they play it.
They had good reason to be confident. They weren't overconfident.
Yeah, they weren't. As your first combat will begin next time on Dying of Exsanguination, the Strahd quad. But until then, we'll be fine, and hopefully we'll have Chimerror back, and so you all will get to meet the cat, whose introduction to this whole situation will be like, oh no, wolves! And then that's gonna trauma bond you, hopefully, or not, kill one of you, or have one of you captured, or what have you. But until then, thank you so much for having your first meeting in the home and introducing each other and everything like that. It's a fantastic little session of sort of setting the stage. Well, we are moving out. Sunfye, where can people find you on the internet?
On TikTok at Sunfye D&D.
Mm-hmm. And where can people find you, Chimerror, on the internet?
Chimerror on the internet.
Yep.
Funny how that works.
I suggest Blue Sky if you want to kind of keep up with their posting.
That's probably the best.
Other places. You can find Scratch's player at Triple Aaron, that's all spelled exactly like it sounds. It ends in RAWN. And Belladonna, where can people find you on the internet? I'm going to make you come up with a different saying for this each time.
Crying quietly at the foot of the bed, just out of sight, begging you not to look.
And you can, of course, find at Dying of Exposure here, and of course, anywhere you would type in at Dying of Exposure and expect that to come up with some sort of media profile, predominantly TikTok, but sometimes other places, and of course, over on YouTube. We will be back next week for more Strahd adventure, the group's first combat. I will let the audience know they are all level 1. There are 6 wolves. This is going to be real dope. This is going to be super chill, and everything is going to be fine in Barovia. But until then, we will see you next time here. Thank you for hanging out. Bye, everyone.